This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Steve Icon.
Now, Deontay Wilder, he said that Tyson Fury changing trainers, changing training camp, tinkering with his training is a big mistake ahead of their rematch in only a couple of weeks' time. Now, Wilder, he's not really saying anything that other people haven't really said. And this isn't the first time that Wilder has said this. In fact, Wilder said this when Ben Davison was in the corner of Tyson Fury. You guys will remember in the first press conferences where Tyson Fury was being shouted at by Wilder saying you've made a big mistake letting go of your Uncle Peter. So it's the same kind of thing. Now, is it a big mistake for Fury to change training camp? I don't know. I mean, again, I suppose it depends on what was happening previously in training camps as to what's happening now. Because John Fury and, of course, his brother Shane were also saying that things weren't going great in camp. Now, I don't exactly know what's happened in camp. I don't think anybody knows unless you were part of that team. But they're kind of leading us to suspect that there was a lot of messing about, joking around, maybe not doing certain things in training. Tyson Fury, he needs to be controlled, okay? And that's always been the way with Tyson Fury. Peter Fury said it on numerous occasions, that to get Tyson Fury motivated is a job in itself. Keep him in the gym, keep him focused. And more importantly, on fight night, keep him focused. The hands behind the back and the sticking the tongue out, that's all fine if you're well away of punching distance. But Fury, he likes to play with death, dance with death inside that ring. And he's been a knockout waiting to happen for quite some time. And so far, he's managed to get away with it. And especially against Wilder in the first fight, he just about got away with it. Now, Tyson Fury changing trainers, let's be honest, Tyson Fury has learned all he's ever really going to learn. He's never really going to improve as a fighter. Okay, he's a switch hitter. He can go from orthodox, he can go southpaw, and excellent on his feet. So there isn't too much really you can teach Tyson Fury. It's all about momentum going into a fight. It's all about staying busy. It's all about getting the game plan right. Now, the game plan for Tyson Fury, as it is with every fight, is hit and not get hit. That's what he does. And as Fury said once before about Wilder, Wilder has two punches. That's all he's got. He's got a left hook and a right hand. Now with Vladimir Klitschko, Klitschko had that too, plus much other things. And what Fury was getting at was, if I can negate what it was that Klitschko was good, then I can sure as hell do this to Wilder. If I can't beat Wilder, then I don't think that good. That's what Fury has repeatedly said. In this one, not so much. He's been on social media, he's been going at Wilder, saying he's got a poor resume, he's garbage, and this, that, and the other. But when he sees him in the press conference, he's like, yeah, Wilder's got a great resume. Basically, just contradicts himself. But ultimately, none of that matters. What only really matters is what happens on the night. Is Sugar Hill the right man to keep Tyson Fury motivated? Is Tyson Fury going to be the kind of fighter that Sugar Hill likes to have? As in a guy who will go for the knockout. This could work for sure. I mean, Fury, he can pressure a guy and he does punch much harder than what I think people realise. And Wilder, he ain't great around the whiskers. We all know that much. But Wilder's very difficult to get hit. And in order to hit Wilder, you've got to put yourself in range. Now, the power of Wilder is overrated, but underrated at the same time. Underrated because it's not the power. He's not carrying the power through his arms, through his shoulders. It's the speed. Speed kills. David Hayes talks about it all the time. Speed kills. When Wilder throws that punch, it's fast and it comes out from nowhere. The problem is with Wilder is that when he throws it, again, he's been getting away with it himself. He leaves himself vulnerable. That chin comes up. The left hand goes down because what Wilder does is he throws a flick jab and quickly follows through with the right. That's what Wilder does. So he leaves himself very, very vulnerable. So if anybody can avoid that and then counter him straight away, Wilder could be in a whole lot of trouble. As I said before, Wilder isn't great around the whiskers. We've seen him wobbled on plenty of occasions against not very big punchers. Eric Molina, not known as a huge puncher. He's been beat the hell up by Johan Duhaupas. He was getting embarrassed by Spilka. So Wilder can certainly be outboxed, but he's always going to be in the fight. I've always said it about Wilder. Yes, his skill base is pretty poor, but he's as dangerous in the first round as he is in round number 12. It's exactly the same thing. He carries that power, even when he's tired, even when he looks fatigued. He'll catch you. That's what he does. So Wilder, he's going to be patient in this fight, although it wouldn't surprise me if he just comes out the blocks to try and take off Fury's head. But if Fury can survive the opening few rounds, Wilder will start to tire and then become vulnerable himself. Now, Wilder, he says that Fury has pillow fists, okay? But Fury had Wilder almost out of there at the end of that fight. He had him wobbled in round, I think it was round 3 or round 4, I forget, and Fury just didn't jump on him. And this is what Freddie Roach was going at, that Fury, he should have jumped on Wilder. He could have knocked Wilder out. But it's all ifs, buts and maybes, isn't it? Fact is he didn't. Fact is he didn't jump on him. Fact is he tried to outbox him. And he did outbox him. And he did beat him. So when Fury says, well, I tried the outboxing him and staying away from him and I got robbed on the scorecards because I'm not going to get a decision. A Brit in America isn't going to get a decision. And that's a fair point. But let's be honest, it was actually a Brit that pretty much screwed Tyson Fury. Let's be honest, as in one of the judges. Not as much as the Mexican did, but still. Now, the thing is with Fury is that he does tend to switch off, and that's going to be the problem. So him getting in a new coach, it has to be a coach where Tyson Fury respects that coach. Tyson Fury listens to that coach. In addition to the fact that coach is going to have the best game plan. He's going to have to be watching and seeing things in that fight, as that fight unfolds, that maybe Fury wouldn't ordinarily see. Because Fury is very, very good at adapting. Once Fury gets into his stride, it's difficult to stop him. Very, very difficult. And the best way around Fury, as in a mover and a big guy, is the body. You attack the body. Wilder, not really a body puncher. But he could be in this one. Maybe Wilder's going to pull out some kind of surprise in this one. Maybe he's going to turn out to be a boxer rather than just a guy who's just going to rely on the big punch. How confident is Wilder of landing that big punch and throwing all his eggs in one basket like he usually does, giving away round after round after round in the hope that he's going to land on his opponent? It works for well, most of the time, doesn't it? Because he always gets outboxed, but he always manages to land. At some point, he ain't going to be able to land. Maybe February 22nd is the night he ain't going to be able to land. If you can't land on Fury, then you can't beat Fury. Now, we're all saying that there's no way Wilder can outbox him. Hey, stranger things have happened, right? What was it that people said? Anthony Joshua can't outbox Andy Ruiz Jr. Look what he'd done. So let's not overlook Wilder too much in that category, but history will tell us he's a pretty crap boxer. And he's not a very good fighter. He can't fight on the inside. He's a one-trick pony, and he does try and take out the lights when he's throwing a punch. But if it lands, you're in serious trouble because he always goes for the back of the head. So one little movement backwards, and you get it straight on the chin. So anyway, for Tyson Fury to change trainers to Sugar Hill, I mean, I don't think that a training camp is going to make Tyson Fury a totally different fighter. And to be honest with you, I don't think Tyson Fury needs to be a totally different fighter. Him going for the kill, in 2 rounds? Listen, that'd be great. If he could knock out Wilder in 2 rounds, big up. But in my opinion, just do what he done in the first fight. Outbox him. Humiliate him. Embarrass him. Frustrate him. And eventually, Wilder will tire. Wilder does tire. And that's when Fury can possibly take him out. If Fury's still got enough in the tank, he'll be able to take out Wilder. But do it in 2 rounds? I don't know. I mean, maybe. Listen, he's a big guy. I mean, he's 6'8", 6'9". He's going to hit very hard. Very, very hard. But the problem is with Fury is that because he's always on like the back foot, it's very difficult to hit with full momentum as you're moving backwards. It's very difficult if you haven't planted your feet. Fury doesn't really plant his feet too much. So him actually knocking out Wilder, it's slim. But yeah, he can do it. But based on the fact that Wilder isn't great around the whiskers. But a whole new training camp, well, we'll have to wait and see. In some ways, it could be seen as an excuse. So if he loses this fight, he could say, oh, well, it's because I changed trainers, and then maybe go back to Ben Davison for the 3rd fight at the end of the year. Maybe. Or Sugar Hill is the right man for the job. Time will tell. But as I said before, Wilder saying that Tyson Fury changing trainers is a big mistake. He also said that when Tyson Fury was with Ben Davison. He was saying how he shouldn't have left Peter Fury. So, anyway, it's what it is. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.